So it said this same world that we're living on now is reserved for fire. This world is going to go out by fire. And everybody that's left on this world that have not come back to the words and statutes of the Most High is going to be destroyed. Read on.
Against the day of judgment.
Against the day of judgment. The first day of judgment on a worldwide scale was during the time of Noah, when the flood came. The second judgment, worldwide judgment, is right around the corner. It's going to come through fire this time. Go ahead.
And perdition of ungodly men.
Perdition means destruction. Read on, of ungodly men. If you're ungodly, you're going to die. Read on.
But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years.
One day with the Lord is 1,000 years. Read on.
And 1,000 years as one day.
And 1,000 years as one day. Now, let's go back to Genesis. The same brother that was reading Genesis in the beginning, Rob Karab, read that verse that you just read.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
So how long did this take? A period of 1,000 years. Read on.
And the power said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.
Now the word waters in the Hebrew is the word shemayim, which means heavens, which means space. This is what he was talking about. This is the waters right here. Space. They said let it be a firmament. The firmament, the word we use today is the ozone layer to divide the waters from the waters. That's the firmament, the ozone layer. And what are you so-called Europeans doing? You're destroying the ozone layer. Read on.
And the powers made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament.
Right. These are the waters which are outside the firmament and the waters which are inside of the firmament. This is our heaven. This is called the first heaven. This is the first heaven. Heaven number one. This is the second heaven. And they speak about a third heaven. Where's the third heaven? That's the spiritual world, which is the fourth dimension. Read on.
And it was so. And the powers called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day.
Second 1,000 years. The powers and angels call the firmament heaven, the first heaven. Your heaven. Your atmosphere. Read on.
And the powers said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place.
So when this firmament was formed, the waters became the gases of the heavens. Hydrogen and oxygen came together. It turned into ice, like a ball of ice, right here in the middle. Read on.
And let the dry land appear.
And let the dry land appear. So the waters was there, and out of the waters came what? The forming of the dry land. This is where we get the earth today. Now let's get a shot of the so-called world map. Now at one point, there was one piece of land, one gigantic piece of land in the midst of this globe, or the earth as we know it. Now, if you notice, now it's broken up into pieces. What happened? There was a great flood. All nations have the story of the great cataclysmic event that took place during the time of Noah's time. And things was broken up. Prior to that, the flood, the earth was all together in one piece of land. Read on, brother.
And the powers called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas.
Read that again.
And the powers called the dry land earth.
And the powers called the dry land earth. Let's cut that in half. That represents the earth, and that represents the sea. To give you an understanding. So the Most High said he called what? The dry land earth, and he called the other part seas, waters. Go ahead.
And the powers saw that it was good.
And the angels, the angelic forces, saw that that was good. That was a good thing. Go ahead.
And the powers said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed.
And know what we have that on the earth today? Grass, trees, vegetation. Yeah, brother.
Oh yeah, so was just one side earth and the other side?
Right, it was one whole mass of land, one piece of land that was represented as earth, and the other part was water.
Okay.
See, let's get another picture of the map again, the world map. You see these pieces of land? To show you that these lands were put together, let's look at Africa. See this part here? This fits right in like a piece of a puzzle into South Central and South America. Okay? This piece here, you can see how they fit together like broken pieces from a puzzle. So that's what happened. When the flood took place, the land was broken up. Okay? Let's read on. Read that verse again.
And the powers said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind.
Right. Now, there's certain parts of the earth where you see it marked off as green, meaning there's supposed to be more vegetation where it's marked off green. And the other parts, like brown, represent desert or less vegetation, and so forth. Read on.
Whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so.
Right, whose seed was in itself. That's why you have the orange. The orange seed yields the orange. The apple seed yields the apple. And so forth and so on. Read on.
And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind.
Go ahead.
And the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself
Right.
after his kind.
The apple came out of the apple tree. You didn't have oranges come out of an apple tree, or bananas come out of an apple tree. The apple tree yielded forth apples. The orange tree or the orange bush yielded forth oranges. The banana tree yielded forth bananas, and so forth and so on. Read on.
And the powers saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
Third day represents the 3,000th year of the creation of the universe. Read on.
And the powers said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven.
And the power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens. What are the lights? What do you see at night when you go out and look into the heavens? You see stars. You see stars. Lights. Then there was two major lights. The sun, and then you had the moon. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, where does the twilight come in? Is that when
The twilight represent the
light?
the one side of the light, the dimmer side of the light, and the brighter side of the light. As the world is rotating and the elements is rotating, you'll see part day and part night. Okay, that's why you have what's called the international date line. And in some cases, you can be on a big boat, a big ship, and part of the ship could be partially into the night, and the other part partially into the day. So there's like an exact line. They show you that in the Apollo flights and the shuttles. When they look back on the Earth, you can see the elements. One side is dimmer light than the other side. So that's where you get your dusk and your dawn and so forth. Go ahead.
And the powers said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and years.
Right.